it doesn't faze us. Obviously, we want to win that first one, but it doesn't always happen. And all our focus is on game 2 here and getting a big win.
How did you assess game 1? Seems like a lot better than what you guys have done in the regular season, and other than the fluky goal, and then fluky goals happen.
Yeah, you're going to get your bounces go your way and against you, and nothing you can do about it. We're just going to keep moving on here and watch some video. We learned some things. We're going to try and bring into game 2 here tonight.
What have you seen from Mikko playing on your line in the last few games?
He hangs on to pucks really well. Smart player, creates a lot. He attracts a lot of attention out there, and all good players do. And it's been a lot of fun to play with them, and we're just going to try and keep building this chemistry here and try and find ways to create some more.
He's in such a difficult position going up against those teams so quickly. How do you sense he's handling that?
Like a true professional. I think he mentioned it before, but it was probably good to get one out of the way in the regular season. To get away from the media and all that stuff. So he's handling it well, and his focus is all on this team now, obviously, and win hockey games.
Things like that, and everyone externally is freaking out about an 8-game losing streak. Where does the calm come from? Where do you guys find that ability to just ride What is it about the pro athlete mentality that?
It comes from within this group. Everyone in this dressing room. We're an experienced group. We've been through a lot together. You're going to go through your ups and downs in a season, and that's just hockey. That's part of playing 82 games, and we're not sweating it. We take it one game at a time, and we got a new day here to make something great happen and try and tie the series up.
What have you learned about Tyler this year? Obviously, he's put a lot of work in, and just that process of trying to get up to playoff level has got to be difficult.
It's definitely, I'm sure, not easy. He's put in a lot of hard work this whole year, logging a lot of hours at the rink, and we get to see it every day. But I think even when he wasn't around the guys and the team, he's putting in more hours. We all see what he's doing at the rink, but there's more to it. He's doing more at home. He's doing more off the ice, and just a true professional, true leader for this team. And he's really did everything he can to get back in the lineup, and it's great to have him back.
How hard is fatherhood as a professional athlete as you guys try and do all this stuff? It seems like obviously you have a lot of help at home, but it does seem like it changes the dynamic of game preparation.
A little bit, yeah. Obviously, our wives are MVPs this time of year. They log most of the dirty hours, the late nights, and they make it easier on us. So.
As we go through a game 1 loss, you guys have gone through it before. Is there talk in the room, or is it just another game?
I would say both. Obviously, we want to improve from the game 1, but at the same time, you stay focused. You kind of know it's a longer series than just the one game, so kind of learn stuff from the first game and then keep building from that.
How do you do that? What have you done in the past? Because the games have been a little bit different. Some have been overtime games, some have been, different challenges as you get back out there. And again, on home ice again, which it seems like home ice has been a little bit of a challenge in the playoffs.
This guy.
Kids these days.
I know. I never could have done that, but. Can you quickly say that?
I was just saying, on home ice,
yes.
How do you go back out there and what do you need to address? And just a mind, it seems like you guys as a team have had a good mindset in coming back from that.
Well, it's kind of tough at the playoffs. You win or you lose. You just try to keep it neutral. The energy at the rink was amazing on the Saturday, so I'm excited for tonight. Just do those little adjustments so we can get the better result tonight.
Since Lian's bugging you right behind you, but he's going through his first playoff series. Can you offer some insight into the emotions that a first-year player might be dealing with from a Game 1 loss and then managing a series moving forward?
I think you guys should grab him after me, what he did there. I think it was spoken overall for the group yesterday about just what I said about staying kind of in the moment. What happened in the first game happened, and we can change it and only focus what's ahead tonight and just kind of reset and go for the win again.
Do you see anything on the penalty kill that you guys need to do different, better, get back to what it was earlier in the season? Not too bad.
Not too bad, I think.
Take fewer penalties.
Yeah, obviously
I think that's been the biggest problem.
Probably helps, and then I think it started well with the 5-on-3. It was so nice to hear the crowd get pumped too, and I think all their goal took a tough bounce, so not much you can do with that. Overall, I think the PK was fine last game too, so just stick with it and, like you mentioned, maybe.
It's a hard challenge because that's a good power play.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't take again a double minor and a 5. I mean, it's just a lot.
Yeah, so a little less dose probably helps the PK overall too.
Matt Duchene.
Yeah.
He just got back to the level that he's accustomed to playing at this season.
Yeah.
Is that really the story?
I think so. Listen, he's played at a high level for a long time in this league. And like every player, he's had some down years. He's not the first player, especially a guy who gets measured by his offensive numbers, to have some dips over his career at different points. I mean, we've got guys in our dressing room like that too. So, I think it was just a circumstance. He had an off year. Their team had an off year. They wanted to make some changes. He became available. I don't think there was any doubt in Jim or I's mind, what he was capable of. And he's coming, he's delivered, at that level. And he doesn't look like he's slowing down to me.
When Sagan's healthy,
Mm-hmm.
how do the three parts of that line complement each other?
Well, listen, you know what, the analytics, I mean, they've got a long stretch of being not just the best line in our team, one of the best lines or the best line in the league for stretches over the last 2 years when they're healthy. So, Segi's got to get up to speed. It's game 1. He missed 56. He hadn't played since December. I thought he did a great job coming in, getting up to speed. But there's going to be some runway there. But when they're all going, they get a nice compliment to each other. Marchment does a great job of disrupting and forechecking and winning pucks back. Dutchy's the transporter. He can carry the puck 200 feet from goal line to goal line. And Segi's turned into one of those guys that, is really, really good defensively. He's kind of the defensive conscience of that group for me. But also has that ability to find holes and find pucks in the offensive zone.
You say in the analytics of that line, what are the numbers that you find value in versus don't find value in when breaking something down like that?
Yeah. You know what? It's a good question. You'd have to ask our analytics group. They do all that heavy lifting for me and get it down to some other those guys. Yeah, I mean, I rely on those guys to give me the Coles notes for the people that are old enough in this room to know what Coles notes are of it. So I'm not sure exactly, but we talk about the importance, and that's the thing with analytics. I'm going to go off on a tangent here now. It's critical that you get the right things put into that pot, in order to get valuable information out. So, that's the importance of that.
When it comes to the value and getting things out of it, how much do you actually communicate that with the players of this actually means something, or does that also fall on that staff there?
No, it means something. I mean, I'll give you an example. We have a game impact number for our entire roster after a game. And some guys are lower on that list than how or they feel they played. And some of it's matchup based. If you're playing against McKinnon every shift, your game impact isn't in the things that they're talking about. It's offensively skewed. It's things like that. It isn't going to be good. So you've got to be careful with some of that stuff.
Dig on that a little more. Is it like a score from like 1 to 10, or like what does a game impact score look like?
It's a number, and it's everyone that plays in the game, and there's a bunch of things that go into that, but it is offensively slanted. Puck touches, puck battles, chances for, chances against. There's a whole bunch of things that go into that. And again, if you're matched up against a guy like McKinnon all night, your number's not going to be probably reflective of how effective you were.
So speaking of McKinnon, I mean, you have obviously 3 centers that you could probably put any of them out against him, but did you feel particularly comfortable, especially with a player like Rope going up against his line?
You know what? That wasn't a hard match for us. If that's what ended up happening, that's what ended up happening. I feel like when you're playing a player like that, you've got to build out at least 3 and probably 4 lines that can play against him. He's on the ice, for heavy minutes in all situations. We're going on the road, obviously, into Denver where they control those matchups. So, I don't think you can be married to 1 or even 2 matchups against him. I think your whole group has to be prepared to play against him.
Do you feel the same way with the defense pairs, or is it a little bit different with defense?
Yeah, no, I think, well, listen, everyone has matchups. I'm more of a defense matchup guy than a forward matchup guy, but, same thing. You're not going to be able to get one pair out against him, especially when you're going on the road.
Every day we're asking Mikko the same questions, and he's answering them, gracefully, and he seems like he's in a good mindset. Yeah. How are you seeing how he's handling, just the scrutiny on him, the going up against his old team, everything that he's gone through?
You know what? I've just been really impressed with his professionalism and his composure is probably the best word for it. He's got a lot on his plate. I don't think anyone should be surprised that this hasn't come easily and all at once. I think the track record of guys in similar situations to this, tells everyone in this room, including our coaching staff, that this isn't going to be easy. So, I think he's actually probably ahead of schedule on where I think my projections were, where he might have been or could have been. At best case projections, there's no. It's seamless. I don't think that's realistic, but I think he's ahead of where I think potentially he could have been, and where some other guys in the similar situation, the level they played at and how long it took them. So I've been really happy with him, and I think he's going to get better and better. I don't think what you're seeing is an act. I think he feels comfortable. I think he feels like it's really close, and he's just got to stick with it.
At the same time, you need him obviously to be as good as he can be. How do you walk that line of pushing him but not pushing him too hard? Yeah.
Well, yeah, we need him, but he's not going to win this series for us single-handedly. He's got to play a part, but we've got a big group around him, and, until he gets, to a point where he's making a nightly impact, other guys have to do some heavy lifting.
Any lineup changes tonight?
We're probably going to have a couple, but that'll be game time.
Miro's out today. Obviously, we saw him out.
Miro's out, yeah.
Coach, with Mikko, when he first got here, how much more comfortable, I understand it's a process and all that. It feels like it was real shocking for him, the initial trade and then the uncertainty. How much more comfortable is he now versus when he first got here in Carolina?
I think every day he gets more comfortable. I think off ice he's settled from what I understand. With his housing and things like that, he's gotten to know the group, so that's always a big part of it. On the ice, I think there's still a transition. Look at he played in one place for almost a decade, and he played with one guy for almost a decade, and that guy. No one else in the league has that guy, that plays that exact game. So you've been working off, a certain partner like that for a decade, and your game working off that. It's not an easy transition. It's not an easy transition.
What is his complete?
Really,
sorry, go ahead.
Chris Tanev was really effective in shutting down Colorado Stars last year.
Yeah.
What can you replicate from what brought him success with the personnel you have
Yeah.
here?
Well, you don't replicate Chris Tanev. I think that's the beauty of Chris Tanev. I mean, he was. Listen, when we played Colorado last year at this time of year, we had Miro Heiskanen and Chris Tanev, two, in my mind, probably the top 5 defensive defensemen in the league, in our lineup. So, that's a different world than we're in today with what we have. So, we've got to do it by committee. We got to do it. Our forwards have to play a bigger part in that. Our goaltender has to play a big part in that. We don't have the same group we had last year.
Obviously, this time of year with lineups and everything like that, there's a lot of things we don't know publicly that you and Jared are. How much, though, when you say, I'm making game time decisions, or Jared says I'm doing this, does it actually impact your day, what Jared says? Or vice versa? Like, as a coach, like, we always hear, like, intentionally you don't share it with us, and that's fine. But I'm just curious of how much does it actually change your prep when you say, hey, we're going to name our lineup at 6 o'clock?
I'm going to go home. I'm going to have a pregame meal. I'm going to have a nap. I'm not thinking about Jared Bednar or what he says today, and I assume he's not thinking about me. I hope he's not. Thanks.